absolute deliciousness today. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Huddle. Where today we have a electrical week. If we want, we could really set our playoff brackets for the NBA.
We could do. Let's go look up the NBA playoffs.
So the NBA playoffs have been set. I'm trying to think. There's definitely something else that happened.
Is this it? No, is this?
That's it.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what. There's definitely something. Oh, the Masters.
Masters.
How could I forget? Also, UFC 314. And then this is the Monday or Tuesday before WrestleMania.
Yeah. Saw Raw last night.
So Raw last night.
It was a little kind of boring. There wasn't really that much, but
I mean, there's definitely been some lackluster episodes, but we all know it's because the big one, the big kahuna is coming up.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to throw your best guys out there the Monday before WrestleMania. Huge, crazy match.
We're going to do some of our WrestleMania later, though, so we don't have to talk about it.
No. I'm trying to think what else. MLB, not really anything special. Obviously NFL, nothing. Yeah, we'll just start with some NBA playoffs. We'll start with our picks for the playoffs.
I'll go first here.
Okay.
So we have in the West the 10 and the 9, Mavericks and Kings. I'm honestly shocked. I am shocked that the Kings just talk about a fall off, man. They went from they made the playoffs, I believe back-to-back years. They had a good 7-game series against the Warriors.
Young team too, young team.
And here they are scrapping for the play-in. And then you have the Mavericks. I don't even know if AD is going to be healthy. That could be an issue. Matter of fact, let's just do some research right now.
It looks like he played the most recent game, so I would assume he is healthy. I would assume he is playing.
So with AD being healthy, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Anthony Davis, Domantas Sabonis. There's been some history between the two, and regularly Domantas Sabonis does dominate Anthony Davis. Well, is he even playing? I don't even know. Regardless, I think I'm going to take the Mavericks.
Okay.
I think that the Kings, I don't know what it is. I think the Mavericks, this could be an Anthony Davis legacy game. It really could.
Okay.
Honestly, this could be just a horrible pick, too. It could really be just a bludgeoning of the Mavericks. But honestly, I don't have either of these teams making the playoffs. I think both the 7 and 8 seeds are going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think the Grizzlies are going to take it home.
Okay.
In this game, beat the Warriors.
Yep. Okay.
And I think the Warriors are going to beat whoever to set up an interesting matchup here. Actually, I changed my mind. Steph Curry's been playing so out of this world. I think they beat the Grizzlies.
Okay.
Grizzlies beat, the Kings or the Mavericks. And that's going to be the West. And then the East side, the Heat and the Bulls. I just don't know. The Heat just seem really trash without Jimmy Butler, so I'm going to take the Bulls in there. And then the Magic and Hawks. The Magic, I'm playing, sometimes they play very good, sometimes they play mediocre, but I'm still going to take them. And then I think that the Bulls will beat the Atlanta Hawks to make the playoffs, but they also play the Cavs, so is it really good? Not really.
No. My side here. I'm going to have to go with the Kings here. I don't know about the Mavs, man. Like, they're just, it's one of those teams that I feel like they're just so, they're so overwhelmed by everything right now, and it's just too much for a team to handle for this year. I think the Kings will take this one home. Then the 7 versus the 8, give me Steph Curry. Steph Curry is that guy. It's just as simple as that. When it's a close game in the playoffs, whatever, you want Steph Curry on the court. I mean, he's that guy. I'm taking them, and then I'm gonna take the Grizzlies over the Kings. So pretty simple matchup there. But on the other side, on the East, same thing with the Heat. I just don't. They just seem kind of just lost almost without Jimmy Butler. That's their centerpiece, and you just kind of lose it, and it just kind of shakes up the team a little bit. I'm gonna take the Bulls here. And I'm gonna take the Magic to beat the Hawks, and then the Bulls will beat the Hawks. I think that's exactly what you took, isn't it? But I just feel like the Bulls are a good team. Yeah. They're a solid team, and I think they can outplay, especially if Trae Young maybe doesn't have a great game.
Yeah,
I think
Trae Young's really all the Hawks have.
Yeah, and that's kind of their thing, and I just don't think. I think Trae Young's good, but I think he still has a lot of room to become. He still has a lot of ways to go before he can truly carry a team like that far into the playoffs. And then, do you want to do the next round, or do you want to wait till next week? Because
we might as well just give our full.
full. Okay. All right.
I'll try to do this fast. So I'm gonna have the Thunder beating. Who did I say? The Thunder will beat the Grizzlies.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that the Nuggets beat the Clippers. The Lakers beat the Timberwolves, and then the Warriors beat the Rockets.
Wow. I can certainly see that.
I think the Nuggets beat the Thunder in the second round.
Okay.
Thunder's just too young. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Shea, and we're
Really
going to
feel
see
that.
why Jokic is the MVP. And then the Lakers beat the Warriors in the second round. Another classic Steph Curry LeBron series. It's going to be
LeBron's-
great. We know they can go back and forth, but I think the Lakers with Luka just over the top.
Okay.
So that means it'll be another Nuggets-Lakers Western Conference Finals. And this time, I do believe that the Lakers will get it done
Okay.
and advance to the NBA Finals.
All right.
On the east side of things, Cavaliers take care of business. Boston take care of business. 1 and 2 seeds are going to be clean.
Yep.
The Bucks and the Pacers, I think this is easy. The Bucks. I think the Bucks will steamroll the Pacers in at most 5 games.
Yeah.
I think the Pacers are just they're not. I mean, they did make an Eastern Conference Finals run last year. I just don't see it happening. And then call me a homer. I'm taking the Pistons over the Knicks in probably 6 games. I think that the Pistons just have a better roster. I'm going to be honest. They have the best player in the series, Cade Cunningham. He could be a first-team All-NBA. I don't think the Knicks have anyone near that. Brunson, I mean, he's not very good.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson couldn't defend Helen Keller on offense. However, as much as I want the Pistons to make a run, I don't see them. I really wish that they got a 5 or 4 seed to
So
play
you
the
play
Cavs.
Yeah.
I think that I just don't see anyone in the East beating Boston besides the Cavaliers. And then I think the Cavaliers beat, so it's going to be a boring side of the playoffs on the East. Cavs, Boston, and I have Boston beating the Cavs.
Okay.
That means it will be a Lakers-Boston NBA Finals in which I do have the Los Angeles Lakers to win. LeBron James going out, maybe even coming back, but if this was his retirement year, along with Luka Doncic getting his first ring, revenge. Could you imagine? That would be awesome. Luka Doncic gets revenge against the Celtics. I think this honestly could be another collapse of Jason Tatum in the playoffs. It really could.
Okay. All right. I like it. I'm just going to be honest. These 1 seeds this year, I think, are probably one of the weakest 1 seeds we've ever seen. They're both just too young. We've seen time and time again that in the playoffs you need that guy. And I think Shea could be that guy. Not yet. But in the playoffs, you got to have that veteran, that guy who's just going to just take your team
why
to
do
the
you
next
think?
level.
Why do you think the Heat went to the finals twice? Because Jimmy Butler was that guy.
Like I just don't see Shea as being like that guy.
When I look at Donovan Mitchell, he doesn't strike me as that guy.
No, he's good, and with a good team around him, he can be a great player. But he's not that guy. He doesn't have that guy factor. But if you know what I mean, like something that like Steph Curry has, LeBron has. Like when you look at these teams that win, they have that guy, Jokic. Like just things like that. So besides that, I am going to take the 1 seed OKC Thunder. They're still a good team. Don't get me wrong, and they're not going to lose to the Grizzlies. But next round, I don't think the Clippers are that good. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not going to contain Jokic. It's just as simple as that. Jokic is going to dominate them. Give me the Nuggets. Here's where we might part ways a little bit here. I love the Lakers. I actually don't like the Lakers. I know what I'm talking about. I love their team as like a good team. You know what? I have to take the Lakers. I'm sorry. I was gonna go Timberwolves.
I really don't see how you can't take the Lakers. Honestly, Ant's like that, but honestly, he's kind of just falling off a little bit. I'm gonna be honest.
He's too unpredictable, too up and down.
Yeah.
To win a whole playoff series.
You know what they say? You live by the 3, they die by the 3. They've been living by it. It's probably gonna be time to die by it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where in a Game 7, I might say like maybe the Timberwolves could win if it's a 1-game series or a 3-game series, but a 7-game series, I think the Lakers can take it home. And then this is gonna be boring as well, but give me the Rockets. I love Steph Curry, but I just don't see him beating the Rockets.
I just think the Rockets are too young.
I think so too, but I think they'll get
Dylan Brooks, against the Warriors again. That's gonna be a Dylan Brooks Grizzlies series. That would be awesome.
Yeah, dude,
That'd be fun.
Dylan Brooks. I love Dylan Brooks, dude. All right, Cavs. I'm gonna take them as well. Pacers, Bucks. I hate to just copy what you're doing, but I'm gonna take the Bucks as well. I mean, once again, you talk about that guy factor.
Giannis.
Is so,
I'm not a huge fan of Giannis. He is undoubtedly that guy.
He's just so dominant. And when I look at the Pacers roster, it's the same thing when you talk about like the Cavs. They're just a good all around squad, but they don't have that guy.
Halliburton just
They're almost like too well rounded to have, because when you have a well rounded team and you're playing a good team, sometimes those teams can get shut down because they don't have that guy. Nobody's scoring. You give it to that guy just goes off, right? But I just don't see it in them. Like the Bucks, right? The Bucks aren't doing good. You just give the ball to Giannis and say, just go do your thing, go shoot as many shots as you want, and that's why I see them winning. The 3 versus 6 here. Sorry, Pistons, but give me the Knicks. I don't think that the Pistons are a bad team, but I think they need a couple more years and they need one more player. They need one more vet, one more star, and I think they could truly be a good team, especially with my boy Jaden Ivey. But I think they need a little more help. And then the 2 seed Celtics versus the 7 seed Magic. How about upset alert? Jason Tatum absolutely collapses in the first round of the playoffs and loses to the Orlando Magic.
My only thing about if Jason Tatum does collapse, which honestly at this point it's inevitable. I don't know if you remember, they got a guy named Jaylen Brown.
They do.
They got a guy named Drew Holiday.
They do. My prediction: Jaylen Brown,
Al Horford, a guy named Tingus Pingus. The best starting 5 we've ever seen.
Jaylen Brown gets hurt in the second game. I'm just gonna call it right now. Jaylen Brown gets hurt.
What happened in Boston? What is it? Doomsday? Good lord.
It could be. I'm just saying prediction.
To lose to who? The Magic?
The Magic. I'm telling you, Jaylen Brown will get hurt in the second game.
All right.
Now,
that's interesting.
I'm not gonna tell you who my source is for that information. Just know it might be extraterrestrial.
So you guys might have to lay down a fat $100 on Jaylen Brown getting injured in the second game. The payout is going to be $4,000.
It could be, man. In my next round, I have the Nuggets beating the OKC Thunder. Because Jokic is that guy. It's just as simple as that.
Big Joker.
I love Jokic so much. Like, he's just so fun to watch because he's so like non-stereotypical of what you think an MVP would look like.
I used to hate him and then I matured.
You just learn to love him because the way he plays the game is so like it's so interesting and so odd. Like we haven't seen it before. Like he's like Dirk, but like just like so much more like
just bruiser. He's just a bruiser.
He's like so bruiser combined with like just such a smooth player.
He's just so interesting to watch.
The way he plays the game is nothing like we've ever seen.
He just controls the court so effortlessly. Yeah. It's just a thing of beauty.
And like he's so slow, but like man, he just makes everything. Like he's just
someone once said he's like a dad playing against his kids in a game of pool basketball. That's the best analogy I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Just waiting above the water, just kind of throwing it over their head, you know.
Oh yeah.
Old head, just cock back, catapult, and launch it. It's just kind of what he does.
Yeah. And then Lakers versus Rockets. I hate to copy you, but give me the Rockets.
Wow.
I'm joking. Give me the Lakers.
I was gonna say.
I just can't take the Rockets there. So we're gonna have same thing as you, Lakers Nuggets. Next round, give me the Bucks versus the New York Knicks. I think the Knicks can beat the Magic. You know, the Magic got lucky that Jason Tatum fell apart and Jaylen Brown got hurt. That's not going to happen versus the Knicks. Jalen Brunson's going to take over. Here's the thing. New York has been so bad in sports these last, 10 plus years. Honestly, the Yankees haven't been that good. The Mets haven't been that good. The Giants haven't been good. The Jets. Well, I guess the Giants were kind of good. But
all they really have is a couple of Yankee playoff runs, and that's all they have to show for it.
But this is the Knicks' year. The Knicks advanced the Eastern Conference Finals. Now you have the Nuggets versus the Lakers, the Bucks versus the Knicks. And let me tell you something. Giannis versus Jokic is the way it is going to go down. Wow. And let me tell you, after, 5 years, Giannis takes his next championship home, and the Bucks win the whole thing.
If this happens, I will cut off my pinky finger.
Like the whole bracket, right? Or
right.
Just the Magic?
If this happens, Ryan, what will I do?
I don't know.
All right, I will not shave my hair until I hit a hole-in-one on Armco Park.
Okay.
All right.
So like the whole bracket, right, or just like the
Everything
Magic?
you just said happens. All right, you know what? Excluding Jaylen Brown's injury, but if what you just said formulates, I will not shave any part of my body until I hit a hole-in-one on any golf course.
Okay. All right. The Masters.
You heard it here first. Now, speaking of golf, oh my gosh, you know, I just want to say, I wouldn't say I've been a huge fan of golf for a while. I haven't really followed it. I know of it. Like, if you asked me a year ago who's winning the U.S. Open, I would have said it's Tiger Woods playing, because that's all I really knew.
Yeah.
And I would say, like, recently I've been starting to kind of get into it within, like, the past 2 months, you know, thanks to Kyle Cummins and, you know, my principal's marketing class. However, I know a ton of people, and this includes myself, after watching the Masters this past weekend, I would say I'm 100% a golf fan now.
Okay.
It is. Okay. I think it's just, and that's for so many people too. You know, if you watch this, I mean, that's what it's all about. You know,
it's like it's so relaxing. You just sit there and you just feel calm.
It's just
like
I could take a nap. I could pop in an AirPod and take some swings and just. I mean, it's beautiful. You know,
yeah.
Jim Nantz is just one of a kind.
Yeah.
And you know what a story, Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
You know, finally completing the Grand Slam
after almost selling too. I mean, like
yeah.
what?
Justin Rose loses again in the Masters in another playoff. That's brutal. But just. You know, there are so many things that happen. You know, Rory's incredible 7-iron shot. That's one of the greatest shots I've ever seen in my life. Watching that live was stupid.
Yeah.
Bryson DeChambeau crumbling, you know, going into the water.
Yeah.
Ludwig Oberg just absolutely collapsing.
On the 18th, I mean, oh my goodness gracious.
You know?
I mean, he shot, 3 over on the 18th?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he wouldn't have won, but I mean, the dude could have tied for third.
Yeah.
And just absolutely fell apart. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, it is what it is, but we see Rory, right? The 18th hole. Beautiful drive, second shot, hits it into the sand trap, and you're watching, like, oh my God.
I'm thinking it's over.
Hits it, beautiful shot, puts it, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 feet away.
At this point, you're thinking, gimme, he's walking home with it.
And just shanks it. I mean, that was a terrible putt. Like, it's one thing, but if he'd, like, barely missed it, but he missed it by a good chunk. And I mean, you're just sitting there like, wow, he's going to lose this.
I mean, at this point, every person that was watching this knew exactly what was going to happen. They thought it's over. You know, I've seen the TikTok edits. I know what's going to happen. He's going to choke like he always does.
And he went there in the playoffs.
You know, let's just talk about that playoff hole.
Shot a beautiful three.
I thought it was over. Justin Rose dotting up the green, probably about 9 feet away from the pin.
Yep. Hard shot, but not impossible, especially for someone in the Masters. I mean,
I'm thinking, you know, Justin Rose is probably going to sink this, you know, and walk away with it. But McIlroy steps up and hits one of the best shots. That's a better shot than I've hit in my entire life.
So clutch. Just
right buries the putt. Rose steps up, misses. Although, you know, we can't even, you know, Rose's putt on 18, that was honestly so much aura, you know.
Yeah.
The hat comes off, crowd erupts.
Yeah.
Just great. But, yeah, it was just very, very electric.
Yeah, 100%. Might have to tune in for the next tournament. Might have to cover that, man.
Yeah, the U.S. Open, you know, the PGA, whatever they do. But, you know, don't be surprised if soon you see us two take the course. Don't be surprised.
What?
So, now we're moving on to some games.
Now,
but, you know, we always have to start with food.
No.
Oh, okay.
We're doing this first, because now I don't turn the screen.
So this is a new segment. What is it called, Love?
I forget what you told me. Man of the hour.
This is the man of the hour. The man of the hour today is going to be me. This reminds me, we're going to have to do defend versus destroy again.
Yeah. I don't know. We just need to come up with something.
Yeah. You know, if you have any ideas, put them in the comments. You know, whoever watches it's got to be Immaculate Grid watches our videos 100%. They know every Tuesday. You know, make the grids hard.
Yep. especially for football. Dude, we haven't done good on a football one.
Yeah, Immaculate Grid. Stop putting the Dolphins and the Texans and the Jets in our freaking things. All right, just stop. All right. So the man of the hour. You know. You ask who's the man of the hour? Me. Now, I've been called a lot of things. You know, I've been called Ryan Wilson, Snack Easton, Snack Easy, Snack Nasty, R Nasty, R Drizzle. I've even been called the Last Monsted. Meaning I'm just kind of a one-on-one.
The last monster. Okay.
As the last Monsted, I'm ready for any questions you have.
Okay. Now, I have piled on some rather interesting questions here. Now, some are more serious than others. Some make sense, some don't. So we'll start with the interesting one here. Are Nike Elite socks the LeBron of socks?
I'm gonna come out. Are we talking like type of sock, like Adidas sock, Nike sock,
Just
Nike Elite,
in
or like,
general.
does the height differ? Like, is the tall sock LeBron and the shorter sock like if the
No.
tall? So it's just.
I think this is straight up who's the GOAT of socks. In question, are Nike Elite socks the GOAT of socks?
I'm gonna come out and say that the Nike Elite socks are the Kobe Bryants
Okay.
of socks.
Okay.
And the GOAT of socks is actually the low cut Nike socks. Any low cut, honestly.
Okay.
Actually, what am I? The GOAT is the high sock,
Okay.
the high Nike. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Everyone knows that. That's kind of the GOAT. I'm more of a low cut guy myself, but I can't discredit what the high's done. However, when I look at the Elite, I see a lot of Kobe in his game.
Okay.
And he had an incredible run for a couple of years back then. I remember vividly wanting the ice cream pair for Christmas. Never really got my hands on them. They're a little bit expensive.
Yeah.
All these socks were, but
Yeah.
I always just felt tactical.
Yeah.
Just tactical sliding those on. They're a little bit like grippy and kind of stiff,
Yeah.
which just
Oh, yeah.
added like the back. The Kobe Bryant. They just put up a ton of shots, but man, did they hit shots, and man, was it clutch.
Now, when you're putting on the Nike Elite socks, over under like 55 seconds to actually put them on.
Definitely over. They
they're
were just
just-
stiff.
They're so hard to put on, dude. Like there's no worse feeling than trying to put one of those on and it hurts so bad. You're
Your
like, you're
fingers
gripping
are just,
so hard.
Yeah. They definitely, just like Kobe did, they went down in a ball of fire. Rest in peace to Kobe. And honestly, rest in peace. I haven't seen anyone rep an Elite sock in a while. I have a pair. I think I wore them once to an open gym.
Sometimes I wear them to basketball because they apply some pressure for my ankles. I've got bad ankles. So sometimes I do wear them because they get a little extra support. Yeah. All right, on to the next one. Okay. Was Rudolph a system reindeer?
So, here's my thing about Rudolph. I remember before the what was it, Blizzard of '69.
Yep. Okay.
So Rudolph, I remember him kind of being a shy, humble, down to earth guy.
Okay.
And I'm not calling him a system reindeer. Obviously, the dude's got talent. However, I don't think that he's the GOAT.
Okay.
And after getting to know him, he's kind of an a-hole. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
He's a little bit of a jerk.
Okay.
I still like the guy. You can definitely see the cockiness. He kind of brags about, oh yeah, led Santa sleigh. Santa, and this is true. Santa did personally come to him.
Yeah.
Santa asked me. He's like, "Can I trust this guy?" He's like, "I know he's got the red nose. It's gonna be good." I was like, "You know what, Santa? Go ahead."
Now I do have to ask this: do you think he's a one-trick like pony? Do you think he's only really that guy when it's foggy? When it's a foggy night.
I don't want to be a hater. He definitely is. Because let's just say it wasn't. It wasn't. I think that he was so close to being outcast as a reindeer. I think that God himself graced the earth, graced Rudolph by giving it a blizzard that night. Because I think a couple more nights they would have outcast him.
Okay.
Just an anomaly with that red nose, but really, if it's not snowy, he doesn't really bring anything to the table. I really think Dancer and Prancer are just two amazing reindeer that can always lead a charge. Don't forget Comet. There's so many, but
and with Donner,
it's just they're all up there every single year for a reason. They're all stars. But Rudolph he's obviously the most well known, but I would say he's the best.
Start bench cut: Fritos, Doritos, Cheetos.
That's an easy one for me. I start the Doritos, bench the Cheetos, and cut the Fritos.
Okay. Now, why does everyone hate so much on Fritos? I love Fritos. Fritos are good.
I enjoy Fritos as well. However, I only enjoy two Fritos.
Okay.
Chili cheese.
Chili cheese is so good.
And honey barbecue, I think is what it's called.
Dude, I'll tell you some chili cheese Fritos.
Yeah, those two are honestly those are as good as anything Doritos and Cheetos has to offer. It's just the rest of Fritos.
Okay.
Not a huge fan. Cheetos, white cheddar Cheetos are the best Cheetos.
Okay.
And also the baked Cheetos are always better than the actual regular Cheetos. Stand by that. And then Doritos, purple Doritos, goat, and then the Buffalo Hot Ranch from like 2015. Unbelievable.
Okay. All right, we're back to quite an interesting one. Do you think that the big bad wolf had a cold, or do you think he was truly trying to blow their house down?
I mean, I almost get emotional talking about it. Sorry. I really feel for. Sorry, it's hard. He has just been put in such a bad light because these three little piggies are just so. They knew what they were doing. They did. They got word. They said Big Bad Wolf. He has a cold and he's sneezing a lot. And these guys, they come from a rich family and they all live in just three well-built houses. But what did they do? They went out purposefully because they didn't like what wolves used to do way back when they were just kind of predators. Okay. Now we live in a zootopia where everyone's friends. But back then, when the wolves actually did eat the piggies, they never forgot that. And what did they do? They built a straw house. What else? A stick house
and like a brick
and a brick. And they knew they set it up. And they said a whole thing about the Big Bad Wolf. Why would the Big Bad Wolf blow their house down? The Big Bad Wolf, for what I knew, he was going grocery shopping because he was baking cookies with his family.
Yep.
And he comes home and it's just ridiculous. I'm not a fan. The fact that Piggy number 2 was a president, that is awful. I don't know how he was elected, and he put a tariff on everything. I can't even. I'm getting so fed up. The Big Bad Wolf had a cold. Stop talking, saying I hate the people that say Big Bad Wolf. He's not a bad guy.
Okay.
He's not a bad. Okay. Me, him, and Electabuzz. Wow. I mean, we've had some good times.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
You know what? I was gonna ask another one, but this leads into a different one. So because you just brought up Electabuzz, would you rather have lunch? Now I'm not sure if you know who this is. You should. Would you rather have lunch with Electabuzz or George Washington Carver, the guy who made peanut butter? I think.
Yeah. Wow. Honestly, it depends. It really does. See, here's the thing. I actually was able. I know I said this before. I was actually able to grab lunch with Electabuzz over the weekend. We definitely talked about the Masters for a little bit there. We hit up B-Dubs.
Okay.
I know he's a fan of the Blazing Wings.
Okay.
He says they're electric, and I was like, yes, they are.
Okay.
So yeah, he's an awesome dude. I've had lunch with Electabuzz a lot though. I'd like to have breakfast with him or dinner. I've only really had lunch with him.
Okay.
But I've had it so many times. I would love to just sit down and chat with my boy George. He's not George Washington. Honestly, he could be more impactful. He made peanut butter. Last night my stepmom came down and what was she doing? She had a knife and she was just eating peanut butter right out of the thing. George, he's just he's got a cool looking mustache. And honestly, I just love to sit down with him and talk. I know he's had a little bit of history with the feds, but that's beside the point. I think we'd have a good time.
Now, do you think your opinion would change? Now, okay, so are you picking Electabuzz or George Washington?
I'm going to take George.
Okay, now, if you were allergic to peanuts, would that change your mind?
Absolutely.
Okay. Do sliced apples have a better flavor than a whole apple?
Sometimes you have a sliced apple and it's just one of the best things you ever put in your mouth.
Yeah, 100%.
It's one of the best things you've ever put in your mouth. Pause. And then sometimes you have one that's mushy and you're just like, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know. I feel like there's something they do. I don't know if they've been juicing the sliced apples or something, but sometimes they do get a little extra kick of flavor, and I'm not sure why. They just have it. Okay. So honestly, it's always hit or miss for me with sliced apple.
Okay, you know what? I'll save some for the next time, so we'll just go one more. I think I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I have a couple more here, so we'll do one more. Are strawberries a top 5 fruit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Strawberries are just, it's always the first strawberry out. The first strawberry tanginess, as I like to call it. You put that in, and man, it's just sour in your mouth. It really is. You just get that cheek just tightens up.
Okay.
But after that, just a delectable. I don't know if you ever had this, sprinkle a little sugar on.
Okay.
That's an all-time classic in the Williams household. I love that. But yeah, for me, apples in there, bananas in there, grapes, 100% are in there.
I love grapes.
And then I always throw strawberries. You can put watermelon. I mean, For me, I think watermelon deserves that spot, and strawberries deserve it as well.
All right. Now, but I had an idea of something. Now, have you ever seen the podcast, right, where they pick like something, right, and then they like guess, right? So then you say it out loud at the same time, and you try to guess the same thing, and then you keep going.
Oh yeah.
So we do that right now. We are a sports podcast, so we'll keep it
Sports related.
somehow, some way. Okay. It doesn't have to necessarily.
I've seen people, I've seen Tyler Tony from Dude Perfect do this in like 3 tries. So
It's hard. Now, just think.
I said we should try to get under 10 or 15 since the first time.
I said we start with just anything that has to do with sports at all. Now, I think we can go away from sports if it leads to that, but let's just start with anything that has to do with sports at all. All right. You ready?
Yep. Wait, are we doing one word or just anything?
Just like
a phrase.
Yeah, just phrase, word, anything. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Field goal.
Tom Brady. Okay.
I'm pretty sure we should get this at 2. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't remember.
Field goal, Tom Brady.
Know.
There's something they have in common.
I know.
Well, I mean, it's not really a gimme, but like, there's an area. I think we can narrow it down.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hereditary.
Damn. Oh, okay.
I was thinking. Okay, we're in the same. We're in the same realm.
Deflated football and Adam Vinatieri.
Okay. This is kind of a shot in the dark, but it could be. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bill Belichick. Damn it. That's smart.
I feel like I should have got that. Okay. Bill Belichick and a placeholder.
I have an idea.
I'm trying to think here. All right, I got one.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Jimmy
Garoppolo.
Oh,
we had the right idea.
Right idea. No repeats, is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like there's only one choice here.
Okay. I don't know.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Bailey Zappi.
Oh. No.
We're like, we're right there. Okay.
All right. This is all I got left.
Okay. I think we might be on the same page here.
3, 2, 1.
Joe
Cam
Milton.
Newton. All right, Joe Milton and Cam Newton. Those are 2 similar guys, right?
Okay.
Well, let me think here.
Joe. I mean, this could be anything.
I mean, this is all I got. Joe Milton, Cam Newton. I got one guy for us.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Bryce
Lamar
Young.
Jackson.
Shit. Okay. You know what's funny? I was actually thinking of saying Lamar Jackson too.
Lamar and Bryce Young.
Okay, I
got a guy.
I have a guy.
I feel like it could be it.
It's kind of interesting, but it makes sense.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Deontay Johnson.
Deontay Johnson.
Because I was thinking he played for the Panthers and the. Okay. Wow.
So Deontay Johnson and Jalen Hurts.
Oh, good lord. I mean, where could we go from here?
I got an idea. I'm just thinking Deontay Johnson, Jalen Hurts, just combining it.
Okay, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
AJ Brown. All right, there we go.
Boom.
That's perfect. Okay. All right. We get. You know what? We'll have to keep doing that. That was not a terrible first try. We definitely got a little caught up there.
I mean, the quarterbacks, that was just absolute destructa codas right there.
We just could not name the QBs at the same time. We kept switching it up and all that jazz. Now we're. Oh, but don't worry, man. I still have so much more stuff, dude. It's unbelievable. All right, here we go. New screen recording. Now. All right, here we go. On to week 12. Obviously, we start with food. Let's bring it back to the Masters.
Just an incredible event. Honestly, everyone just wants to play golf at this point. Tee times are going to be hard to get.
I mean, you can't really see the bottom. You can kind of get the idea.
So we have a $10 order at the Masters. So a sandwich, a breakfast, a snack, and a drink. There's actually a Crow's Nest beer and then white wine. I'm going to be honest, I'm not having either of those. So that makes it kind of easy.
The fact that we're both under the age of 21, we're just going to scrap those. We just can't use those.
You know, never really been an alcoholic drinker myself.
Yeah.
So can't really.
All right, man. $10 order. All you.
So I'm going to start down low. I'm going to eliminate soda and water. I'm going to go with the iced tea. I feel like at the Masters, I'd want to have an iced tea. Kind of fits the vibe I'm going to go for here. The Masters, you know, the scenery, and iced tea.
Okay.
So now I'm looking. I got $8 sandwich, breakfast, snack. And I'm just looking at that fresh mixed fruit cup right there, and that is just staring me down. Looks electric. I'm gonna take that for $2.50.
Alright.
So now, what do I have left? I got $5.50.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, am I tripping? Yeah, $5.50. Okay. So we have $5.50 left for sandwich and snacks. And you got the pork barbecue, the chicken salad, the pimento cheese egg salad. I also really want to try that Georgia peach ice cream sandwich. That looks electric.
That looks gas.
But that won't be happening today. I'm gonna go with the pork barbecue,
Okay.
and then that leaves me with $2.50. I believe if my math is all correct.
Yeah, so you can pick anything you want, man.
And then I'll just take chips.
All right.
I'll take chips, and I'll have $1. I don't know, whatever left. I'll have $1 left to spare. So
Okay. I'm gonna start up high. I'm gonna go with the pimento cheese sandwich. That looks gas. And I think this will kind of fit into everything else. I already had this all planned out. I was just looking around, see what I want to pick. But those things really interest me. The chicken salad and egg salad. I don't know egg salad. The pork barbecue did pique my interest a little bit. It did run through my mind. But I was like, it's just not there. But give me in the breakfast. I'm picking two things here. Fresh fruit. That looks gas. There's nothing better than some fresh fruit. Unbelievable. And a blueberry muffin.
there you go.
There's nothing better than waking up and having just a nice big muffin, dude. Oh, unbelievable. So now I'm $6 out of the way. Give me some Georgia pecan caramel popcorn. I love caramel popcorn. Caramel popcorn is so good. The only thing I don't like about popcorn is like when you get like the things like stuck in your throat. That sucks. That's
kernels.
That's just unbelievably unfortunate. It just sucks when it happens. You're just like, why?
It's brutal.
Well, like, why me?
Brutal-tastic, you could say.
It could be brutal-tastic.
Brutalicious. I mean, it really could be a lot.
Yeah.
It could be devastating, devastator, a policy, for sure. But
then I'm gonna go just straight up water. Simple as that. But I feel that's a good mix. We get a good amount of food.
yeah, we could have done some background music to this song. We could have had a little. Listen to that on my way to school. I'm also gonna throw this in the playlist.
Okay. Here we go. Now this is what I call some fantastic stuff.
Wrong thing. You know what? Let's get some.
Well, actually, funny enough, this is actually not the NFL. I mean, that's just unbelievable, man.
I did not see that. Okay, so we're not gonna be able to get there. But you get the idea.
Build your dream college offense, 15 buckaroonies. Now this should be fun, man. I think I went first last time, didn't I? So I think you get the first pick here.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So build your dream college offense. And look
There's
at
an elite name.
there. You really can't go wrong with any of these guys.
You can't.
You really can't. So are we doing one per row?
Yep.
Okay. Or one per column.
Yep.
As the old heads like to say. I'm gonna go. There's some really good like low dollar like high value guys.
100%.
But I feel like tight end is gonna be the most lacking in talent. And I'm gonna go Kyle Pitts.
Damn it, dude. That's who I was gonna pick first. Kyle Pitts was so good.
Kyle Pitts was a monster at
Kyle Pitts was
Florida.
electric.
He was a monster. And I think he's probably the best tight end. I mean, Brock Bowers is unbelievable, but I'm just gonna take Kyle Pitts, save myself $1.
Zoom in. Well, what? Go back out. Took my pick there.
Hate to do it.
But this next pick is just so easy. If I'm not taking Money Manziel, who am I taking, dude? Money Manziel is electric, right? I love these QBs on here, but people forget how good Johnny Manziel was in college. I mean, dude was elite. He was so good. Mm-hmm. Now, he might spend a little too much time down and about.
Could be an issue.
Could be an issue. But if we're talking on-field performance, I'm taking Johnny Manziel. For $1, that's a steal of a deal.
Yeah, it is.
And then give me Saquon Barkley for $2. That's an easy one there for me. Saquon Barkley, so good. I love the guy. Just elite stuff.
Yeah. right, so back to me here. I would absolutely love, to have my boy Braylon Edwards. However, I would feel like a moron if I didn't take for $3 Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I feel like he should be higher. And I don't know why Justin Jefferson's not on here. But yeah, then I'm gonna take Amari Cooper for $2. I really don't. I'm not gonna be honest. I don't know a whole lot about Justin Blackmon.
No.
And I don't really feel like Larry Fitz was that good in college.
Okay.
And Devontae Smith for $5. And don't really think so.
No.
So Jamar Chase and Amari Cooper, and that's gonna leave me with $6 left. I think I know what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Now I have my next two picks. These are easy. I have $12 left. Give me Devontae Smith and Brock Bowers. That's the league right there. Devontae Smith, wide receiver Heisman, Brock Bowers. We obviously know how good Brock Bowers is. That's elite, man.
You know, this would all be perfect if I could go Burrow and Saquon, but you took Saquon. I'd love to have Tim Tebow. I would. The heart of Tim Tebow, though, you can't replicate that. You really can't.
No, you can't.
However, I don't really want Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
I don't.
Ooh.
And then Vince Young and CMC. That's a deadly duo. It's not the best duo here.
Oh.
Cam Newton and Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor, he definitely thrived in more of a rushing style offense opposed to a passing. And Cam Newton.
You can run some mean option, though, with Cam
it's going to be elite. As long as we have a solid O-line, we're going to be dominating. And then Cam Newton, you know, maybe he didn't get enough credit for being a passer, but I think with Jamar Chase and Amari Cooper and Kyle Pitts, he should be just fine dropping back.
And then give him Mike Williams, send it out. I don't have a choice there on that one.
Mike Williams, holy beast it.
But, yeah, I think both these teams are also pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, this was an absolutely loaded. I mean, the $1 team could win a national championship.
There honestly was no bad pick here, like, at all. I mean, you can lead any team, I'd be like, except for if you pick, like, Vince Young, Justin Blackmon,
like
Tavon Austin.
Like, all the fives are completely, like, you know, like, the only five I would say, like, isn't valid is Crabtree.
Yeah.
Like, Bush, 100% valid at 5. Cam Newton. Yeah. Honestly, Burrow
could have gone at 5, yeah.
But
Bowers.
Just so loaded at the QB. Manziel at 1 is crazy.
All right. Pick number 1 or 2, man.
Let's go.
All right. We're doing this first. We have a nice little NBA wheel. Just as simple as it gets.
Yep.
Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. And then your backup guard, backup forward, backup center. Simple.
What about coach?
All right. Fine. I have no idea who coaches any NBA team, but I guess we'll give it a shot.
If we get a good one, we'll know who it is. You know?
All right. Wow, we got some sound effects here this time.
Wow, you love to see. You know what? You can go first this time.
Thanks, man.
So.
Well, I said please just don't give me a bad team. That's a good start. Give me Donovan Mitchell.
He's not that guy, but
he's not that guy. But if he has a good team around him, like we were talking about, it could be good. Shooting guard, point guard.
I would classify him as a shooting guard.
That's what I would.
You know, definitely frees up the point guard because there's a lot of superstars at the point guard. So you know, he's a good player to have.
Yeah, man.
You know me, I'm more of a manual spin type of guy.
Okay.
Didn't get all of it, but okay. So
that's one that's like not great, but like not bad at the same time.
You know, I got Halliburton, and I got what's his face, Miles
Turner.
And this is what I'm gonna do.
You could go.
I could go
spots.
backup center Miles Turner as the spread shooting the threes.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go Halliburton coming off the bench.
Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna get more value from a playmaker like Halliburton, and I want him coming off my bench. Now, once you put someone on your bench, you can't change.
Nope.
So that's the fun of it.
Here we go. Oh wow! I mean,
you do have Zion though. Zion, okay. Everyone's healthy besides Kawhi Leonard because you know no one likes Kawhi Leonard, and that's never realistic. Kawhi Leonard's never healthy.
I have no idea how Halliburton works.
So a healthy Zion, dude, that is just dangerous.
I just wish he could just stay healthy.
I honestly,
because everyone's like, oh, he's a bust, but like, dude, the dude is still so good. He just needs to just not get hurt and stay healthy.
I'm a huge fan of Zion personally.
I am too. Now, you don't talk about electric. There's no like Zion. I feel like there's only one option here. I'm Unless you go Brandon Williams back up forward.
LaMelo Ball starting point guard.
All right, that's fair.
And here's the thing about that. I feel like give him some players, and LaMelo could be dangerous. He really could.
He could. He just needs to probably on this team not be a shoot first kind of guy, but you can always teach him.
Ooh, wow. I mean, you do have Spoelstra though.
Oh, that's 100%. Yeah, that's actually a great goal there.
I've always said Eric Spoelstra, never really that good of a coach, always carried by his players. Luckily, we're doing a fantasy team, so he should be just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't know who I'm
Give me Gwembus, Membus, Victor Wembus.
Oh, that's not the team you're looking at.
Wow.
That might be the worst team.
We were in
possibly.
between the Lakers and the Knicks there.
That might be the worst possible team. I don't even
And look, here's the deal. I don't know who the coach is, but I'm going to be taking the Wizards coach. Clearly, he doesn't do that good of a job.
Here's the thing. Do head coaches really matter in the NBA?
I mean, not as much as you'd think. Not as much as NFL.
Yeah, 100%.
Steve Kerr kind of just sat on the sideline, and the Warriors just dominated.
Oh, I almost got Wembus instead of get the friggin' Trailblazers, dude.
I mean, that might be the second worst team. You have Donovan Clingan, Shaden Sharp, Scoot Henderson.
I mean,
I would go Clingan off the bench personally.
That's what I'm going to go to.
Get a big man. He's what, 7'3"?
Here's the thing.
Monster.
He's not like we're gonna rock someone's world, but he can play some good defense.
He's not gonna rock someone's world.
He can play some good defense. He can get some boards. That's all you need to have a backup center. You're not looking for him to put up 20 points a game. That's interesting.
And I'm gonna be taking Kevin Durant.
You are gonna take
Kevin
the
Durant.
Durantula.
You know what? Let's slide him. Slide him at
Power, small.
Yeah, I'll slide him at power.
Okay.
I want him at power.
Stretch 4, stretch big. All right. Let's see what we can get here.
I feel like KD is still a top 10 player usually. Oh, wow! I mean, the backcourt is looking disgusting.
Give me SGA. Young team here.
Oh,
Really young team. I have no old people at all. I have straight like probably 25 and below, except for Donovan.
Give me the
might be a
king.
little older, but
so close to the king.
Boom's got Brontis sitting against the freaking Rockets, dude.
I
mean, there's some good options here.
I got Sangoon. You know what? I'm trying to think. Who do they even have? Jalen Green?
Yeah.
Who's their best player? Who's on that roster? Hold on. I feel like there's someone we're missing here. They got Thompson.
Young Green, Evan Thompson, Reed Shepard, Dylan Brooks, Van Vliet. I'm not really anybody, honestly. I'm not sure how this is
what?
to be honest with you. But.
Give me Alfred Şengün, backup forward though. I want him as my backup forward. Just a big boy. But he's been called Baby Jokic. I wouldn't say he's quite there yet, but he definitely can give me good minutes coming off the bench.
Okay. All right. There's some electric teams out here. That is not one of them.
I mean,
wow.
In terms of electricity, this team is about as stale as it gets.
I have to.
Yeah, what's his face? The dude that drops 50 every once in a while. Cam Thomas.
Wowzers.
Holy Drew Timmy.
I could go Drew
March
Timmy.
legend.
I could go Drew Timmy.
Noah
Wow.
Clowney.
This team is awful.
D'Lo.
I think that's what I'm going to have to go here.
I mean, Nick Claxton. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to go D'Lo. But if he does hear the trade deadline's coming up, though, he's going to be playing different.
That's wow. That actually might top it as the worst spin. That team is awful, dude. And to think they had
a beast.
And to think they had the big three a couple. Oh my god.
Good nice. I mean, I just can't catch a break here.
What team would think, or who would think here, man?
I mean, I'm gonna have to slide Trae Young at my shooting guard.
Okay.
Which I kind of like. Actually, I would like to switch those, but you can't.
It's not like it's that big of a deal. They're both guards. They're both
playmakers. Kind of the Luka format.
You used to have Celtics, Warriors, Spurs, Timberwolves, Mavericks, AD, Nuggets, Lakers, Knicks.
I need some big boys.
There's some electric teams here.
That's brutal.
At the starting big.
I mean, this is just unbelievable. You've got Thunder, Cavs, Spurs. Are you kidding me?
Victus Wembanyama.
I'm literally gonna have to get like perfect spins here if I'm gonna want a chance. I need one guy. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my
no.
gosh! That was the guy.
Oh my god, the
Joker.
Joker. Oh no.
So I guess
I know you want him, bro. I know you want him right here, man.
I'm gonna go with Zubac coming off my bench.
You're not gonna take Kawhi Leonard?
Said Kawhi Leonard doesn't count because he's not.
Oh my!
I don't want Kawhi Leonard. Don't want him. Kawhi Leonard is not putting my team over the top.
Okay, dude. What's his first name?
Yvonne?
No, but I thought it was like Ivaka.
No, it's not.
You sure?
Evolve?
Yeah.
Nah, no one called. Like literally, no one called him that.
Okay, wow, right. So. Okay. Wow, these teams are actually just like not good. Like just straight up for what we could have. I mean, obviously I could go with nice little LeBrontis here. That could work too. That could certainly do it. Wow, we're playing a big lineup here.
What do you mean these teams are not good for what we've been given? What are you talking about?
I'm not even gonna try to spell his last
Look at
name.
your starting lineup. That's first. That could be first and second team All NBA.
I'm not actually gonna slide with that.
Giannis.
It's like that, isn't it?
No,
It's just an A.
I don't think there's an A.
Oh, it's just an I. Giannis. Oh yeah, that's right. Wow. SJ, Donovan Mitchell, Giannis, Zion, and Victor Wembanyama.
Well, I'm gonna need the Nuggets and I'm gonna need the Lakers.
My boy LeBrontis, dude.
Nuggets and Lakers. Come on now. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go.
Okay.
LeBron going home. That's
could
phase
shake
one
the
right
game
there.
up. That
Or I could go Lucas, but I'm gonna go
LeBron.
LeBron.
All right. I have one spot left. I have forward. You have center. This could be big here. If you get an absolute, who would you want here? Obviously,
I need the Nuggets.
Jokic. You could also go Mavs. Anthony Davis. Right here, backup forward. Anthony Edwards, maybe. He's not really a forward, but you could probably throw him.
I want to see you
Tatum.
get the
Tatum.
76ers.
Tatum. Don't think anything. He's a little small for this role, but if there's somebody who likes to attack the basket and play big, it's Anthony Edwards. So,
All right. There's only one thing that can save me.
the Joker.
Maybe I get Rudy Gobert.
But you could also get my boy Tingus Pingus. Could also not be a terrible. I don't think if that's what you were looking for there on that one.
The Utah Jazz.
Who is their center? If this was about 5 years ago, you
Walker
could go
Kessler.
Oh, that's actually not. That could be. They could be a lot worse than that, to be honest.
I could go with what's his face, but I was Laurie Marketing.
So I think we're gonna go with this is unanimous me.
Well, let's go position by position.
SGA.
Jump out. Okay. SGA, Mitchell, Giannis, Kevin Durant. Better
Yep.
than him.
I would take Victus.
Okay, Victor.
So
Tyrese is better.
yeah.
All right, this isn't even
This
comparable.
is-
Alfred
this is
Sengun's
such a-
6'11" and
this
Ant's
is-
6'4".
This is such an interesting. We're gonna go with a tie on that one because there's really no answer on that one.
Can I have this in 5 minutes?
Yeah. Episode will be ended short today.
We're gonna have a short episode
So
here.
we're just gonna be done with that, and then we're just gonna finish up with the last sandwich to do. No immaculate grid today, but that's okay.
That's brutal. That's brutal. Cut short. Inflation these days.
Does Control V just not work? Control C. There we go. Am I stupid or something?
Maybe just click manual paste. Love. Ridiculous.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna be quick on this
All right,
one.
here we go.
Could go John
Cena, John Cena's got to be S.
We don't need to answer that. You know,
Gunther J2. I'm putting that in B or A.
it's the same thing.
Flair, Stratton, C.
Okay, that's fair. But I think we would have gone a little higher, but that's fine.
I would put this in A.
I think so too.
I think it's gonna be electric. That's gonna be S.
That's by far the match I'm most excited for. Honestly,
AJ Styles, Logan Paul.
this is
Probably,
such a random matchup.
I would put it in C.
I
I love
agree.
AJ Styles. Logan Paul's alright. I'm actually mad hyped for this.
I
With
know.
that day, Braun
I know,
Breaker's
same here.
so just destructive.
This guy, I don't care about this match. I don't care about this match. This
LA
match,
Fatu.
hey,
Hey.
that match. I'm so excited for, dude. It's gonna be a beast.
You know
match.
what? I'd put it in B because it could be the match that brings the tag division back.
It
It's
could.
really good.
It could. I just don't care about this match. To be completely honest,
I'd just throw it in D.
I just don't care.
Rey Mysterio, throw it in D too. I'm gonna be honest, I don't care.
I don't care about this match.
And that's a solid.
But I feel like it could be a good match.
Yeah, like it's C or like I'm not gonna care.
We'll go with a low B. It's not really that. It's a good match, not that really hype though.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go.
Here we can put these in order. I see we do like probably that.
Yeah, dude, I just
I just don't care about
all those matches.
Yeah.
It's awful.
I'd go probably that high.
Yeah.
That match, like, it's gonna be a good match. It's just kind of like lame. That's fine.
What's his name? Americano or something like that.
I forget, like
Luchador Americano.
Luciano Americano or something like that. I think we got that. Dude, I'm so excited for that match, dude.
Dude, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
And then obviously, dude, these two matches are just elite.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's gonna have to be the end of it today. That's unfortunate. We got cut short, but you know,
Everything's gonna be all right.
yeah. But I say cut short. I mean, we were in here for 56 minutes. So
You know, go be great. Be like Tiger Woods.
we will
Be like
stop.
Rory McIlroy.
We're gonna stop
Got
at,
the green.
at 10 seconds right here, right now.